We're here today to do Crow's Nest koala count with the help of Chris Mybush from Toowoomba Region Koala Count. Thank you, Chris. Welcome. I'm Sandra McKay, for those that don't know me. I'm sure Crow's Nest do. So we're going to Crestbrook Dam. Camp area only. Don't go off anywhere else. Snakes, whatever. Bullockys Rest. That's the walk from Bullockys Rest through Applegum Walk to Hartman Park. And there is a property on the end of that walk, a brick house in Dale Street, where koalas are sighted really regularly, particularly on the escarpment part. So that lady has given permission for whoever does that walk to be on her property to have a look. The school and the golf course. Debbie suggests you hit the school first and then go to the golf course. So we've got Debbie, Megan, Sharon. We're also going to Parkland Drive, which is a nature strip between the highway and Parkland Drive. It's a council-owned piece of treed area. We have council permission to do that, and whoever goes there can take the letter. So if you're questioned.
Each of us will get a safety risk management sheet. I'd really ask you to read it. Save Mount Lofty is auspicing the Toowoomba Regional Koala Count. So we have public liability insurance. We don't want to use public liability insurance because we make sure that we're really safe today. So I'll just work through it. Yeah, very itchy. Okay, let's talk about the iNaturalist app. It spooks a few people. What I would suggest that you do is today is take a photo and of whatever you see onto your photo roll. That will record on your smartphone the time and the place, the geographic coordinates of it, and then when you get back home and you go into iNaturalist, then you can add it up there. I would suggest that you work on iNaturalist as an app on your mobile phone and just press observe and then go to photo library, and it's simple.
Here has had multiple reports of a mum and an older Joey. So I'm not sure whether she actually lives here or whether she just comes visiting regularly. And as you can see from the scats, they're fairly recent scats, those ones. Yeah, she's been here quite a bit. We've had probably at least half a dozen reports of sightings here. She was even seen crossing that road there, which is a bit dicey. So far, she's been safe. So I can't see her there today, so maybe she's moved up here.
So we're in the school grounds, and we're up the very western end of the school grounds, and we've come across a nice little population of koalas. So the first koalas we've spotted this morning were a mum and quite a large back young. And then we've come along a bit further, and Megan and I have spotted this mama up here with a smaller,
little bub.
a smaller back young, and then Sharon's found a big boy just on the other side of this oval here.
And this is in an interspecies tree?
Yeah. So this mum's in a tree that they not normally known to be eating these types of trees, but in this hot weather they'll get in any sort of tree to get a bit of protection from the sun. So here we've got Mum and Bub up here. These were the first ones we spotted this morning. And Bub's very inquisitive, watching what's going on around us, but Mum's trying to blend into the into the tree. So this is the very western boundary of the school grounds, right up against the housing, the houses on the top side of the school. That's a pterodocornis, that's a forest red gum, so that's a very common tree for them to be in and eating. It's a lovely big tree.
Hence we found the scat.
Yes, we've collected the scats from this pair, so we should be able to get them DNA'd. Yeah.
He's very inquisitive, look at him. He's a cheeky boy.
He's very cheeky. Mum's gone back to sleep. I like looking late afternoon because they're starting to get active and it's easier to see them when they're starting to move. But also the middle of the day is fantastic because they're generally curled up quite low down in the tree.
Having a bit of a snooze.
Having a bit of a snooze and all curled up, so nice big lump in the tree. Yeah, in a fork, yep. We're a part of KOALA, so as part of KOALA we do a koala rescue or wildlife rescue. We have a phone that we keep on us for 24-hour wildlife rescue. Yeah, we've rescued a few over the years with chlamydia or in yards with big dogs. We've just had to relocate them to a safer area, but yes. These photos we'll upload to iNaturalist to join to the Toowoomba Regional Koala Count. Yeah, and then I like to take photos so we can personally identify the koalas. So I try to get really close in of their nose because that tends to be a distinguishing feature on them. So, and we're picking up poo samples that we'll send off to the university, and they can send back DNA and can say that, you know, this baby might be from that male over there. So yeah, very interesting. The township sort of know that this is a little thoroughfare for koalas, so it's really good that we've actually been able to find some today. And so this is a lovely line of trees. They have been planted, but it's become a really good koala corridor in the Crow's Nest area. And unfortunately, Crow's Nest is going to lose a few corridors with the developments that are going to happen. So these are really crucial that these remain, intact for the koalas to get around town, because they do like to have quite an area. And we've got another mum and bub just down the way here if you want to come and have a look at her. Bub's very intrigued with people. Mum's trying to hide, but Bub was doing a...
Yeah, I'm looking, I'm seeing you.
Okay, come this way.
So we've really seen some poor conditions of trees, haven't we?
We have, and it's surprising. Like, people think, you know, we've had a fair amount of rain over last wet season, and then it's been wet through the winter. But it's actually, you know, some of the trees it's been disadvantageous to them. So we're seeing a lot of trees that should have a lot more leaf on them at this time of year. Like a lot of trees, this is their big growth time. But I'm surprised at how sparse the leaves are, and seeing lots of dead trees that you know, were still alive through the drought, through the fires, and now have died, you know, despite good rain. You know, it shows that they really were struggling, and yeah, the rain just came too late for some of them. We're seeing lots of mums and bubs. This is the time to see mums and bubs. The start of the breeding season, you'll get males knocking babies off, and that's when we get called to say, look, we found a young one that's been displaced. Yeah, mum's trying to run away and bubs gets displaced. But I've been very happy to see lots of mums with babies or pouch young this year, so that's been really good. Where through the drought, mum just couldn't sustain a baby, so there was a lot less sightings of babies. Yeah, I'm not the expert on how old they are. Like, you know, when we're looking at this baby, I say, look, he's a large back young, and he would be starting to venture away from mum. And just at a guess, I'd be guessing him at around 14 months. But so it's surprising how long they're in that pouch for. So we count them from when they're a jelly bean. So by the time they stick their head out, you know, they're quite a few months old. Yeah, and they become front young then, and then they venture on to back, and then they become adventurous young. So this one we're seeing a large back young, and then the first one we videoed back there, it was a back young too, but he would have just come from being a front young, wanting to be tucked in the front of mum to hang on her back. Yep.
Found a lone koala. He's quite high up in the fork of the tree up there. He's just having a bit of a sleep. We think it's a he. We don't know for sure, but we think it's a he, and there he is, having a sleep.
Sandy and I were strolling. We thought we weren't getting anywhere because the trees are so high and not being sure what leaf. So we came down from Bullock's Rest and we chatted to one of the neighbours who said she hadn't seen a koala here for a good year or more. So that made us feel a bit despondent. And I just came around the corner here on the way to the pump hole and happened to look up and happened to see a spectacular koala backside and thought, that's definitely a koala. So he's shifted around, you can't see him quite as well, but I think it looks like quite a large koala. It'd be lovely if it had a little Joey there too. I've been walking about 5 minutes this morning. It's a very short distance from the main road in Crow's Nest. When people have walked through, we've bothered to stop them to show them that there is a koala up in the tree here so that locals are aware. Some of them were young people who lived here, so they see koalas at their school ground and they weren't all that overwhelmed, but other people have been really interested.
We found one koala this morning after a lot of looking. The big secret is to know which tree to look for. Now we know which tree to look for, which is the red gum, which is behind us. And it's got this red tinge or pink tinge to the bark. We were looking at that, that narrows it down once you know the tree. And now we've narrowed it down, we're going to find more, hopefully. Up until a few months ago, I'd only seen one in the wild, which was at the Noosa National Park 20 years ago. And this time round, we went out to Pittsworth and I think 13, and of those 13, 2 of them had babies. So, and this is my 14th. The first time you see a koala, or my second time, I just elated, and now I see them all. When I see them, I find them, it just makes me really happy, you know. So it's a different experience, and they're just, yeah, it's amazing.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
I reckon there's another one there. So that makes it 2 in the same tree.
How does that make you feel?
Oh, just fabulous. I'm just wrapped. It's like, yes. You feel like there's some sort of hope, because I really was despondent. I thought, oh no, they're not going to die on our watch, are they? So that's just fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah.
Yeah, no sun, but it's certainly a bit muggy
Yeah.
and hard work.
They're probably all hiding in the shade of the leaves where we can't see them.
Oh, we had a good look,
Yeah.
and it's a good day for spotting koalas because it has got that white background. Like you
Okay.
can pick up their silhouettes a bit better, but not great for photography. But yeah, no, we've certainly had a good look across this 50 acres, and yeah,
This tree
we
here,
haven't.
I've seen a koala and a baby up there twice. Yeah.
It looks like a good koala tree.
My husband said check the first at the top, the first down the bottom, and the fifth.
There's a golfer that
Over
knows
there.
where the koalas are.
Yeah.
No
Fresh
koalas.
scratches on the trees, so
Yeah.
that's a good.
Yes, they're certainly around. Because you said you were here 6 months ago, and there was lots of scats.
There was a lot of scats. We picked up a lot of fresh scat.
Yeah, but you've noticed a lot of trees have died since then too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. And a lot have been replaced, which is great. But
Yeah.
I think the rain has got to a lot of them, perhaps.
I'm really pleased with the number of people that have come out today to help look. It's certainly many eyes.
Yeah, and it's my first time doing it, and it's just such a beautiful area just to go for a walk and look up and around for the koalas.
And there's lots of other things we've seen along the way. So yeah, despite not seeing any koalas here on the golf course, we've certainly heard of people, other groups around the town that have seen some, and yeah, we had good luck at the school ground. So yeah, I think Crow's Nest should be grateful that we've all got out in force today and had a look around and found some local koalas.